UFC Vegas 104, Dolidze versus Vettori 2. I'm here to give you my full card picks and predictions on the card. We'll spend a minute just reviewing UFC 313, and then the next video will be all strictly bets, and we'll review our bets in the other video as well. But like I said, let's just quickly review this. We have a 13 fight card. It's going to be a lot of fights. I'll try to keep it as short as possible, especially for fights that I won't really look at to bet on because of the odds, and then we'll go from there. So we went 5-5 on UFC 313. I mean, 2 fights get canceled from already 12, so we only have 10. Then we lose the first fight. Ozzy Diaz does get it done. And then we had Santos by decision, which ultimately panned out, even though I thought he lost the fight. But I also liked Marshall at plus 3.5 for the spread, which we actually hit that, regardless of the prediction itself. So I'm glad with the way that went. Then we had Leal to win by knockout TKO and minus 3.5 spread. That all hit. Then we had Petrosian, already red flag fight on there. I had put it on the graphic as well. Didn't love the fight. And then Joshua Van, TKO decision, solid. The Blades fight ends up not happening. And then we had Rufy to win by knockout TKO, minus 3.5 as well. Solid, banger. I mean, I'll have Chris post the clip of me in that predictions. I predicted that knockout exactly that way. Bobby Green at this point just keeps his hands down, has no chin. Very scared to even bet on someone like that, to be honest. So you can't trust him at this point. Might look good in the first round, might look a little scary, potentially do something, and then somewhere in the second or third round, Hoofy is going to just spinning heel kick him into oblivion. So I cannot be mad at the way that went, which is insane. But regardless, then another red flag fight. I mean, Lemos gets it done against Luciano. I let it get to me again. I felt like the younger fighter was going to be able to do more. They ended up just not remembering how to wrestle. Same thing happened with Angela Hill and Denise Gomez. Then we had Turner to win. I mean, this one's painful. We'll get into it with the bets. This one's painful, but it seems like he's really going through something, so I'm not going to go too much into it. That one sucked. Fiziev does not get it done also. I mean, he was a bit rusty. Same as the first fight against him. He just gassed out earlier than expected. So that one sucked as well. Just the older experienced fighter got it done there. And then we had Ankalaev and Yu by TKO decision. That one also panned out as an underdog too. I wish I had hammered that because I really felt confident in that bet, even though a lot of people didn't like it. I really did. I predicted that pretty much exactly how I thought it was going to go as well. So, like I said, 5-5. That is horrible, annoying, short card obviously, so can't do too much. I mean, if I won one other fight, we're 6-4, which is still trash, but still, I mean, the disparity between 5-5 and 7-3 is not that much. So let's see, 13 fights. Let's just get to it. Honestly, I'm out for revenge. So let's just get straight to it. I have a few dogs. I have a few red flag fights. Overall, 13 fights. I mean, let's get some crack in here. All right. Vettori versus Dolidze 2. Like I said, 13 fights. We'll start with this one. Duben versus Carli Judice. Duben is coming in right now from Contender Series. I mean, this is just the same way it's going to go. Judice lost a split decision on Contender Series and then lost her debut fight after that. She's looking for the win. I mean, she's going to have the striking advantage. Maybe not the wrestling, but she's very much due for a win. 3-2 is very gross already. Duben, obviously, not too much experience overall in her career, 6-0 as well. I just don't like her in this spot. Now, off the bat already, red flag fight. Judice is a minus 400. She should not be a minus 400. I think this is going to go all three rounds. So maybe a Duben plus 3.5 spread, something like that. But even that I don't like. I think that Judice likely just controls the cage, controls the distance a lot, and just gets it done throughout 3. Honestly, I don't like this spot at all for Duben, especially coming in on her debut. I'm okay. Give me Carli Judice to win this by decision. All right, Josiane Nunes versus Priscila Cachoeira. Now, they're both very much in need of a win. Nunes has lost her last 2, split against Cavalcanti, one against Chelsea Chandler. Cachoeira also on a 2-fight skid, getting choked out both times. It's been absolutely nasty. It's been looking gross for the both of them. I've never been a big fan of either of them. Nunes is obviously a very short fighter, but she has the I wouldn't even say she has the power. She has the range to land shots. She doesn't have the power that people think just because she swings hard. She's usually the shorter fighter with a longer reach, and it's the same thing here. I still lean Priscila because of her just naturally being bigger. I think she's going to be able to control her on the cage if she can. Even if Nunes starts getting it popping a little bit with her hands, I don't really like this spot for her as well. And also, she's a pretty heavy favorite at -200 for a fight that feels pretty even. I don't really like that spot at all. Like I said, she's usually the shorter fighter with the longer reach. That doesn't do it for me. I'm sorry. They're both, a little getting older and whatnot. I mean, Cachoeira is much older. I believe she's 36, but she's in desperate need of a win too. Obviously, these last two fights weren't even that close really either. So 4-6 in the UFC. She's in need of a win as well. I'm gonna go with the dog here. I'm gonna go Cachoeira to win this by decision. Like I said, I would lean the over 2.5 more than anything in this fight if I were to bet it. But I'm gonna go with the dog here. Next fight, Daniel Barez versus André Lima. Now, André Lima is undefeated. He is a savage, too. I'm a big fan of Lima, to be honest. Now, he had a close fight. I mean, we had him on the parlay of the week last time he fought against Dos Santos. It was close. He lost that first round, and then it was 1-1 after the third. And then he just needed to rely on his wrestling, and that's exactly what he did. Now, Barez picked up a massive win in his last fight against Altamirano. Altamirano is not that good. He's never been that good. He's pretty much mid everywhere, if we were to put it in that way. He's mid everywhere. But regardless, great win for Barez, honestly. Now, let's just tell the tape-wise. Lima is an inch taller. He has the 1.5-inch reach as well, and the 1-inch leg reach. That's all going to matter because Barez obviously has the power, but Lima has the wrestling advantage. He has the grappling advantage. He's going to try to wrestle as much as possible, clinch him on the cage. Obviously, these odds are pretty gross as well. I'm not going to lie. -330 on FanDuel. I still lean him heavy. I think he's going to be able to pick up a decisive win. I think if he gets Barez on the ground, he tires him out. He might even get a second or third round sub. And here's the thing. Barez has been subbed 3 times in his career. Lima doesn't have any subs on his record, but he can pick up one here. I really truly believe that. I think he can get on his back, soften him up a little bit, and get that sub win. So give me André Lima to win by submission. Now, next fight of the night, we have Carlos Vera versus Josias Musasa. Now, Musasa did pick up a split decision win in his Contender Series fight. The hands are working. When I show you these odds, I mean, you're gonna throw up too. To be honest, these odds are very gross. He got outstruck and and was taken down more times, but he did have the sub attempt. Carlos Vera has one loss against Rinya Nakamura, but I mean, he is also 37, my Ecuadorian bro, and hasn't won a fight since 2022. I'm not going to spend too much time here because when I show you these odds, I mean, they're absolutely disgusting. -770 on FanDuel. I wouldn't even touch that. And I don't think Carlos Vera wins either. Give me Musasa. I think he makes a statement here. Obviously, like I said, Vera's on his way out. He's older already. I think Musasa's here to make a statement. He's young. He's in his prime. He has the power. He's going to wrestle as well. Could get caught in something maybe, but we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Give me Musasa to win this by TKO or sub. Like I said, I think he makes a statement here. Might be a -3.5 spread type of thing, but even that's going to be -300. Don't really want to touch that fight. Not fun. And there's no value in Vera, I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm not even going to say his name. Diyar versus Brendson Ribeiro. I'm sorry. Now, Ribeiro is always going to have the reach advantage. He's like Slender Man. He has an 81-inch reach versus 74. Slight leg reach advantage, and then he's an inch taller. That's cool. This dude's shoulders scare me. I see dudes like this in the gym all the time, and dudes like that scare the hell out of me. Obviously, Ribeiro, absolutely atrocious takedown defense. The striking is there. He just beat Machado in his last fight, but he lost to Magomed because he couldn't wrestle, and he lost to Zhang because, I mean, he just has no chin. So when we put all of that together, what do we get? He has the power, and if he can find the target, he's money. But if he can't, he's going to get taken down and he's going to get mauled. And that's exactly what's going to happen here because this dude is a scary fucker too. He's 10-0, Contender Series win, ground and pound. Now, it wasn't a takedown or anything like that. He just knocked him down and then just absolutely mauled him. But has some decision wins as well. If it gets scary, he's going to rely on his wrestling as long as he doesn't get tired. That's what it really is against people fighting someone like Ribeiro. As long as you don't get tired, you can win this fight. It's as simple as that. He might not have the reach, but it's fine because we know he's going to be faking shots, trying to level change as quick as possible, as much as possible. I mean, look, he has no neck. He's not going to get choked out either. He can get clipped, don't get me wrong, but he's massive. He's built big. I don't know if Ribeiro's going to be able to do anything to him, to be honest. I think he's going to be able to put Ribeiro on the cage real quick and just land something clean on him. Now, the odds suggest that he is a massive favorite as well, which kind of scares me, minus 360. He was 230 a week ago, where Ribeiro is a plus 280 now, or 260. Not bad value on Ribeiro, I'm not going to lie. I wouldn't mind taking something in that spot for him, maybe live, because he'll likely lose the first round. He might be plus 400, and then he ends up winning that second round because homeboy is tired. But regardless, for the predictions, I am going to go with Nurgozhay to win by knockout or TKO. I just don't think Ribeiro's chin is there clearly. It's either he catches someone first, he gets caught. This dude got a blockhead. He gets hit in the neck. It might hurt Ribeiro himself. So give me homie. Give me Diyar to win by knockout or TKO. Now, next fight, Stephanie Lucindo versus Sam Hughes. Now, Lucindo is 6'1". She's an inch taller, 1.5-inch reach, and a 1.5-inch leg reach advantage. Now, like I said, she's 6'1". She's only lost one by decision. She actually drew Contender Series against Alencar. I think Alencar is so mid, it bothers me. She's so fucking mid. It bothers me that she's even in the UFC. Like, I feel like everyone has like that one fighter where you're just like, I don't like you. That's her for me. I just don't think that she's UFC caliber, and it bothered me that that wasn't even a draw to begin with. But then she picked up the win against her, which was fire. So I was very happy about that. Regardless, I mean, she's a solid fighter. Sam Hughes, obviously 4-5 in the UFC. Won her last one against Dudikova. Very well deserved. Dudikova just absolutely couldn't do anything about the wrestling and just overall, not the wrestling. I'm so like the striking. Sam Hughes just like she's like kind of JJ Aldrich. They're literally the same fighter. They're not great anywhere, but they're pretty solid and they're pretty good everywhere. And she's picked up a few good wins. I mean, she started 0-3, which is gross. Picked up 2, lost 1, picked up another one, lost to Yasmin Jauregui, who's not all that. 97 strikes against Dudikova. I mean, that's a lot. And I think that she's probably going to do the same against someone like Lucindo. She's not going to be able to deal with the pressure and the output. She did land 87 against Alencar that first time, but Alencar learned a little bit and she only landed 72. She did also get the knockdown. She doesn't really have that one-shot knockout power. Obviously, most women don't. But I still like Sam Hughes in this spot because Sam Hughes is an underdog. She has far more experience, and I'm not going to get fooled by this old, she's older or whatever. Plus 200 is great value on Sam Hughes, I'm not going to lie. Especially a fight that's probably going to go all 3. Lucindo might let it all out early, or Luciano, I keep saying Lucindo. Luciano might let it all out early, and then what Sam Hughes is just going to pressure her and just pop jab. I mean, this is an outpoint fight. Whoever outpoints the other person wins this fight. So, not a bad spot to also take her. Don't hate it, honestly. I like Sam Hughes as the second dog. Oh my God, 2 out of the 3 women's fights so far have been dogs for me, and the other ones are red flag fights. So we've seen how women's MMA is for me this year, honestly. But give me Sam Hughes to win this by decision. To be honest, I don't see Luciano doing anything special. Her last 2 fights are against the same mid woman. So give me Sam Hughes to win this by decision. Now next fight. I don't know why I went on a rant there. Waldo Cortes-Acosta versus Ryan Spann. Now, Ryan Spann already was a massive light heavyweight. He's coming up to 265. Obviously, he's not going to be 265, but he's going to be fat, slow. I don't even want to look at anything else. He's going to be fat, slow. He might have the power. The chin, questionable, but it's fine because Acosta doesn't even hit that hard. But the good thing about Acosta is that he has the wrestling advantage with a majority of already big heavyweights, he'll pop a jab and he'll do that, but the pressure he's going to put on Ryan Spann in this fight is probably going to be special. I just don't understand. I mean, Ryan Spann has the 9-inch reach advantage. That's cool until he's taken down for a whole round. We saw Acosta's pressure and his control against other fighters, and it's honestly amazing. And I'm not just saying that because I'm also Dominican. He's dope as hell. I mean, 10 minutes of control against Spain. He didn't get a takedown there. Sometimes I wonder if they show control on the cage and things like that as well. Obviously, some of these wins are against like Bresky and Arlovsky. Cool, but Ryan Spann isn't a heavyweight. So the only way Ryan Spann wins this is if he somehow finds that knockout shot that I don't think that he actually does in this fight. So give me Salsa Boy. Give me Cortes-Acosta to win this by decision. Now, when we look at the odds, I'm sorry, before we get to it, minus 172, I think is great value for Costa. This thing keeps going up. I don't even know why, but that's fine. If this goes to like minus 150, I'll take it myself, like straight up, and not parlay it. But likely going to be in a parlay for the next video. We'll see. But like I said, give me Cortes-Acosta to win this by decision. Now, on to the main card. Off the bat, I will tell you, red flag fight. Seung-woo versus AJ Cunningham. AJ Cunningham has the 4-inch height advantage, the 6-inch reach advantage, and the 5-inch leg reach advantage. But Seung-woo got some motherfucking hands. He's got some motherfucking hands. He's 14-3, 3 knockouts, 5 subs, 6 decisions. The last 3 fights all rode to UFC, and then his last one. All have gone to decision, but don't get it twisted. He can knock your lights out. AJ Cunningham also has 2 TKO losses or 2 knockout losses, 2 also by decision. Lost his last fight by a front body kick. Ludwig Klein is a dog, so I don't blame that. But still, not going to get too much into this fight because it's minus 670. I still like him to win by TKO or decision, which is why I don't want to pick this fight, because this can go all 3 as well. They might be hesitant. One might be hurt, and then they'll hurt the other one, and then they just will level out, and they won't even do anything. So I don't even want to touch this type of fight. It could be 1-1 going into the third, and imagine having minus 670 on Seung-woo, and it's 1-1 going into the third. I'll shit my pants. I'd rather not. But give me you to win this by TKO or decision. Now, next fight. Blackshear versus Cody Gibson. Now, people hate Cody Gibson. I'm a Cody Gibson fan, to be honest. I'll bet on him anytime, anywhere, to be honest. And given these odds, I should, but I probably won't. Blackshear, they're the same height. Blackshear does have the 1-inch reach advantage, and then Cody Gibson has the 1-inch leg reach advantage. Now, Blackshear, in his last fight, beat Cody Stamann by rear naked choke. And before that, he got absolutely smoked by Montel Jackson. Shout out to us, because we did bet on Montel Jackson as an underdog. Cody Gibson, though, we don't count 3-5 because obviously he just came back to the UFC. But he's 2-2 since coming back. Cool, he lost to Katana. And then, I guess we should count that, right? Even if we don't. Lost to Miles Johns. And then picked up 2 solid wins against Keller and Allinger. Blackshear, I just feel like Blackshear's striking is a little better than both of them. His grappling is very great as well. The thing about Cody Gibson is he relies on his grappling too, but he relies more on his pressure, and I feel like against someone like Blackshear, who's so crafty. Blackshear had one of the only twisters in the UFC. Is insane. I think that Blackshear's just going to have a bit of an edge. It's just right there. He's going to have a bit of an edge just about everywhere. And it could create problems with someone like Cody Gibson. Now, these odds are fucking crazy. Blackshear's minus 500. There's no reason Blackshear should be a minus 500 anytime unless he's fighting me. Like, it's crazy. Cody Gibson plus 340. There's value there, I'm not going to lie. I think I might take Cody Gibson plus 3.5. We'll see. But for the predictions, I'm going to go Blackshear to win by sub or decision. Obviously, lean decision, but could end up getting a sub. We'll see. Hopefully, it will just be decision, because I'm probably going to take Cody Gibson plus 3.5. We'll see about that. But like I said, give me Blackshear to win by sub or decision. Now, next fight, Alexander Hernandez, Kurt Holobaugh. Now, Alexander Hernandez is on a skid. Sorry, I taped some of these fights like days in advance. Now, he beat Austin Hubbard by split, but he was on a skid. He's lost 4 of his last 6. Before that, Austin Hubbard, it was 4 of his last 5, and it was a split where he probably should have lost it anyways, let's be honest. He has the power. He's just not that good of a fighter. His IQ is so bad. Now, Holobaugh is 38. He won his last fight, cool. He came back to the UFC, beat Austin Hubbard, and then lost to Trey Ogden. Trey Ogden, obviously, looking a lot more well-rounded now. And then he beat Krzyzewski, the unsung fighting nerd. But he's getting older. I think Hernandez is still very much young, even though his IQ is not there. His power still is. His wrestling still is. And I still lean him to win this. And people are going to look at Alexander Hernandez to win by TKO. I like him to win a just clean decision, honestly. Alexander Hernandez right now minus 200 on FanDuel. Not the worst thing. Would I parlay Alexander Hernandez? No, he'll probably fuck up my parlay. But overall, in that standpoint, I think he still wins. I think he could pick up a decision win. Probably going to be plus money for that. So I'm going to go with that. Give me Alexander Hernandez to win by decision. Now, next fight of the night. This is another one that's going to be a banger. Seung-woo Choi versus Kevin Vallejos. Now, both, just right off the bat, we understand they're both going to be swinging. Now, Choi does have the advantage everywhere, but he gets cracked. And if they're in the pocket, he's going to get cracked as well. It doesn't matter. Fucking Vallejos. Am I Spanish or what? What is wrong with me? Vallejos, obviously, like I said, is a shorter, smaller fighter. But that boy also got hands. 14-1, 10 wins by knockout TKO, 10 wins in Samurai Fight House. Cool. He beat Cam Teague by TKO in 2 minutes contender series. Like I said, he has fucking hands. He's never really the taller fighter. He's fucking 5'7". Like, he's never really the taller fighter. Obviously, Choi is a pretty fucking massive or tall featherweight. But regardless, I think that this is going to be one of those Dana White, if you don't know, now you know moments. Vallejos is going to find that chin. Choi at this point, like I said, he has the striking. They're going to be swinging at each other, but 4-6 in the UFC. He's dropped 4 of his last 5. Only one he's won was a decision. He lost his decision, Holobaugh. He got smoked by Steve Garcia, smoked by Triziano, smoked by Caceres. At this point, he has no chin. He's just fighting out his contract. Give me Kevin Vallejos to win this by knockout or TKO. Sorry. Also, another thing. Vallejos minus 560. Am I playing that? Absolutely not. Him to win by knockout or TKO, probably minus 200 or something. Might not be bad. Value play, a parlay play. Maybe him to win by decision. We'll see. But give me Kevin Vallejos to win this by knockout or TKO. Now, next fight. Chidi versus Zaleski dos Santos. Now, they're both old heads. This is an unk fight. This is straight up an unk fight. But I do lean Chidi because in his last fight against Jared Gooden, he did a lot of good things. He's on a 2-fight win streak. He beat Reese McKee. We bet on Reese McKee. He beat Reese McKee, even though it was a split. He deserved that win, to be honest. He's looking, although he is 36, he's not looking that bad at this point. Zaleski doesn't have the knockout power. He has a lot of output. He's big. He's strong. Just won his last fight, but it's just, come on. Let's be real. Then he lost to Randy Brown. This could be a very Randy Brown situation, although I think it's technically Randy Brown is still better than Chidi. I think Chidi has the tools to be able to just get him out of there, honestly. At this point, they're both old, so it doesn't matter. Chidi is a plus 148. I'm taking that probably. I like that. Either of them can die. So I'm going to go with the underdog. Either of them could die at any given point. Give me Chidi and Jacquani to win by knockout or TKO. Main event, Marvin Vettori versus Roman Dolidze. Now, this is a rematch because Vettori did actually beat him just 2 years ago. And almost exactly 2 years ago. Holy shit. But he lost his last fight to Cannonier. Cannonier mauled him. Cannonier was on TRT or some shit. He was on some shit. But regardless of that, lost to Whitaker. Cool. He's dropped a few. Let's not count the grappling. Dolidze, Dolidze's been pretty active. He's won his last 2. He's probably going to beat Kevin Holland, even though Kevin Holland did get hurt. But he got hurt defending a takedown and all that good stuff. So those scramble situations. This is a 5-rounder, so it makes it a little bit different than the first fight, but I still lean Vettori because of that. I know he has been out for a while, but he was out because if you saw that Jared Cannonier fight, that shit was scary. He was getting the bricks beaten out of him. But in a 5-rounder, I still lean his cardio. I still lean his pressure. Dolidze still gets tired. We saw that against Imavov. He can be in there for 5 rounds, but is he really in there? I don't really know at this point. He has 2 solid wins, one against Anthony Smith, who's washed, and Kevin Holland, who got hurt. Vettori's obviously fought the better competition. He knows what to do in 5-rounders to at least get it there against better fighters where it's close too. There's many times where it's close. So in a 5-rounder, I lean Vettori to win the rematch. Again, he did enough. It was just kind of, I wouldn't call it a robbery. It was a close fight. He did enough to do that. I think he'll do enough to win at least 3 rounds in a 5-rounder against someone like Dolidze, where his gas tank's not fully there, even if he lasts 5 rounds. In terms of the odds, I mean, Marvin Vettori minus 172, not bad. He was a minus 128. Kind of wish I took that straight up, but the odds suggest he's the favorite, and he's the favorite for a reason. So give me Marvin Vettori to win this by decision. And that concludes UFC Vegas 104, Vettori versus Dolidze 2. Let me know if you liked this abridged version of these type of predictions. Obviously, I used to do 10-minute videos for my 15K followers on TikTok. But obviously, I've been doing 40 minutes here and there, so we'll see. Let me know how you guys feel about like the condensed 25 to 30-minute videos. Like I said, we'll run down all the bets on the next video. Make sure you follow me on TikTok. It is Izzy's DJ Mine as well. On Instagram, everywhere as well. I love you all. Let's keep cashing.